Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sassuolo versus Milan Pioli corner. I should say that the majority of the interviews have been translated to English, so it seems like Milan are catching on and understanding that there's an international audience. However, I did find an interview which has got some really interesting answers and some really disappointing facts that I found out from them. So, without further ado, let's get to them. And this time I'll just read them straight to you. And yes, this graphic has to show up again. I wanted to give it a rest, but unfortunately, Pioli's brought it back on himself. Right. Question one. Ciao, Mr. Pioli. I need to ask you if you were prepared for us to swallow this compact, this combative, and if the one point in the end satisfied you. His answer is yes, yes, yes. Absolutely yes. Sassuolo had great motivation. They wanted to have an incredible result. They had the whole week to prepare for this match. We expected such a dangerous, fast side. But in fact, but we always want to win. But the way the game went, we can see the draw as a positive result, which keeps us 5 points clear of Juventus. At this point, I should just correct. He should have said 6 points clear of Juventus. Then Pioli says, but you all know, in our minds, we're actually thinking of the next game. Without snubbing this match, our minds were and are clearly on the next game. Next question. Ciao, mister. I want to ask you about Leao. I thought that he was tired against Roma in the first leg of the Europa League match, so I did not expect him to play today. But he played 90 minutes plus extra time. He came off today looking very fatigued. How have you assessed him? Was it maybe that he insisted on playing? Why was he not safe for Thursday, or at least spared a bit? This answer from Pioli is so revealing that something is off with that Leao performance. Many people pointed out that Leao appeared to do absolutely nothing in that first leg against Roma. So listen to this. Pioli says, the problem with Rafa is unfortunately that he did not come off the pitch tired from the match against Roma last Thursday because he never got into that game. We have all the data. So we have spoken to the team that collected the data and we spoke to Rafa. So today he needed to play. Rafa is a player who recuperates quickly, just like Theo. The more they play, the better they are. In the 60th and 70th minutes, I asked both of them how they were, and they were fine. So it's absolutely a positive that they both played. Next question. Mr. Pioli, I think that there is only one objective that counts. Serie A is gone, so the game against Roma is the only thing that counts. Am I correct? Pioli says, yes, I think it's important, but it's also important to finish second in the league. Then it is true that finishing in the Champions League position for the fourth consecutive year is important. It shows continuity for the squad and this project. But we play to win, and right after the end of the match, we immediately spoke about Roma. We did not underestimate this game. The errors were because of a lack of concentration. I know that tomorrow you will ask me about the derby. Yes, yes, I know. You will ask me about the derby. But that's how it should be. The squad knows. Clearly, we worked to get to these objectives. They know that, I know that. They also know that the next game could have very heavy consequences for our season. I believe, no, I know that we did not play the first leg against Roma at 100%. If we play to 100%, we can play a good game. Now, the next question is really interesting, and it's around Okafor. And again, it's an indication of how politically correct Pioli is when we all really know the answer, the true answer. But here we go. The question goes: Ciao, I am a reporter from Switzerland. Okafor entered the game and scored immediately. In our confederation for the national team, with the Euros coming up, we expect a lot from him. How do you see him, and could there be space for him on Thursday evening against Roma in the Europa League game? Pioli says, he's a strong player. He can play as a second striker or as an outside left. Sometimes he can provide the depth of a striker. He is doing well, and he is an option for Roma. That to me means he is not starting the game. Next question. Mr. Pioli, what did you take from this game that you can take forward to the Roma match? And Pioli says, we never gave up. The willingness to fight was there, and we created chances. We had a never give up attitude. Of course, the next game is against an opponent of a higher level, but if we keep up this attitude, we could do well. Now, there were a couple more questions as part of this particular interview, and they were interesting. One of them was Pellegatti asking Pioli that when it was 3-1, Sassuolo, if they had taken their chance, could have gone to 4-1. And Pioli got quite agitated and angry, actually. And he said that if we had converted all of our chances, the game could have finished, 6-4 or 12-4. And he started to make up numbers like that. And then Pellegatti went, okay, clearly Pioli's annoyed at this. So I'm going to ask him a different question. And he asked him about Chukwueze's goals being disallowed. And basically, Pioli said, I wouldn't have a problem with the way these offsides are being made if there was consistency throughout each single game. The problem I have is that there is no consistency. So that completes Pioli Corner for the post Sassuolo of the one interview I found which was not translated to English. I should say that the most interesting part, I think, of the whole thing is the admission that looking at the data, Leao did not come off fatigued against Roma. So he basically is being. I cannot understand why Pioli has actually come out with this, saying that it shows that Leao did not basically try very hard against Roma. That's an incredible thing to come out and say. Well, all we can hope for is that this run out against Sassuolo means that he will be up for the Roma game, and that Pioli is telling us the truth. All right, well, that completes Pioli Corner. Let me know what you think in the comments. Forza Milan.